Are we recording?
Did you record?
Are you scruffing the fluff?
I don't know if this is from me or there's something on there.
That probably sounds.
Yeah, it's my.
Hold on. I've noticed that ours are standing up and Warwick's is going into his mouth.
He's flaccid and we're still.
Did you want to change that, or you like the way you got it?
I like it pointing to my face.
I bet you do. Okay, let's start this.
And we're going to go 3 episodes now about blowing our wads. All right.
Take a break.
We are recording, by the way.
Fuck.
Okay, go.
Welcome, everybody. This is our trio of episodes. Now we are into finishing the bottle. I'm Logan Lynch. This guy.
I'm another host, Warwick Price.
I didn't even say I was a host.
I'm Lon Black.
I just said I was.
What are we doing?
We're finishing a bottle.
We're finishing the bottle.
Yeah.
So let's start there.
Okay.
The movies we're talking about, literally, we just saw Night of the Living Dead and Train to
Busan.
Bussin'.
Which is basically what we're taking in this episode is that they were the opposite ends of the... The fuck did I miss? What is he dying over? Oh, God. That's tickling him that much?
Listen. Okay.
Thank God that tickled his...
Hit my funny bone in the right way. Shit.
That's what she said.
Awesome. That's
God.
rare
Okay,
to get Logan to laugh like that. All right.
Train to Busan and Night of the Living Dead and
opposite ends of the zombie spectrum.
opposite ends into.
But they are.
That's what I see it as.
Okay, so are we going to do a kind of a versus with this?
So hold on.
So
we might.
I think I came up with the matching of these two, and the reason why I did it was because obviously
because you got a hard on for
it's
Busan.
arguably the original zombie movie and a more recent.
How is that arguably the original zombie? It is the original zombie movie.
Well, other than White Zombie.
No, that had nothing to do with the current day zombie movie.
Right.
The current day zombie was based on Romero's zombie.
He created the rules. I don't dispute that fact.
There you go. So it wasn't disputed, arguably the original zombie.
And again, I'm the one that picked
absolutely.
the fucking movies. It's like all of
That's why I want to argue with you about this.
So yes,
okay.
It is the original, true, what we now accept as the original zombie movie.
Thank you.
And a more modern zombie movie, a movie that I loved.
Which was okay.
Train to Busan. Hopefully at this point you've watched the other 2 episodes because we're going to be referencing those 2 movies a lot. And it's not going to make quite so much sense if you haven't listened to those episodes.
So most importantly, these are the 2 bourbons we had in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah.
You can pick the one that you'd like to go with. I'm picking the rye.
I will go for the rye, which is something that I would not normally go for. But this,
I'd like to try the rye after trying.
So this rye, we never even mentioned this in the last episode. This is Hughes. We showed the picture, the label, whatever. Hughes Belle of Bedford. Now Bedford is because that's where it's made in Bedford, Pennsylvania.
Bedford Tools?
No.
Bedford.
But this is a 100% rye whiskey, and we talked about the debate. That
was it a mass debate?
It was. Oh my God! Didn't you do that joke in like 4 episodes ago? 6. Oh shit!
Oops!
All right, I poured you a lot, but that's all right. Wait. What are you going rye? Are you going?
I'm gonna go rye, which I normally don't.
You know why? So the rye, we talked about a little bit about this. Rye was $75
on the table.
I know. Right.
We had it. The other episode was Bullet Bourbon. Which is
with authority.
Bullet Bourbon.
Bullet Rye is a very good rye. I think it's an okay rye. This Bullet Bourbon was about $35. This is about $75, and it shows.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I mean, I think again going into my original review of the rye, it was not very high, but as I drank it more and more, it was definitely enjoyable. And I actually changed my rating of it. This is just...
You went from a 2.5 to a 3?
I think so.
Yeah.
This is, I mean, light years ahead of the Bullet.
Now, mind you, this is a 3-year aged. 3 to 5 is the dispute. This is I believe it was 6-year?
Yeah. That sounds about right.
Yeah,
right?
That's what it says
6-year.
Inside, yeah.
6-year. So, but this is also 104 proof to 90 proof. So, this should be hotter and burn more. And the pepper in it, but it just tastes so creamy and
So
full.
So here's an interesting thing. So one of the discussions we had in the Train to Busan movie was maybe the reason why we rated this low was because we went from the ride
We did finish
to
yes.
that.
Yes.
So that's why
So-
I'm going back to the ride for that
So-
exact reason.
Yeah.
I'm trying this ride, and so you would think that if that was truly the case, I wouldn't like this as much because we've now gone back to the ride.
Correct. Let's see.
All right, yeah. Let's give it
I'm
a-
remembering.
Have you tasted it yet
Yeah,
since we
yeah,
started
yeah,
the show?
I just did.
Oh, okay.
So I'm
man,
remembering
these are
those
my
flavors, and like this is almost instantly enjoyable.
You know what? Pennsylvania, you got my vote, man. There's a lot of dispute as to where whiskey originated.
This is
See,
good.
God
I'm
damn.
getting that burn again.
Of course, it's a higher proof.
No, but so here's what happened. That was the first one. This happened just on the last when I was drinking this before.
Okay.
I got that initial burn, and now I probably will not feel that burn the rest of the time.
You, agreed. I see where
It's
you're
almost
coming.
like it's coating.
Yeah.
You're going, yeah.
Well, you
this is
got to
good.
get accustomed to the burn.
Sure.
Once you get accustomed to the burn, you're good to go.
Yeah. Well,
But-
that and I spilled my.
But
So
it's
I
okay.
probably
You only
didn't have
spilled
as
about $20 worth of liquor.
That's your own fault.
Yeah, that
okay.
was mine. Yeah.
It's all right.
Clumsy.
It's all right.
Yes. Anyway, my point being the fact that it's like this is instantly enjoyable again.
So I'm debating. I'll tell you now. They do have.
Every time you say debating now.
I'm not
Damn you,
masturbating.
You may be a master debater, but I'm a cunning linguist.
Can you hear that? I want to find out if I can hear it. The point is, they have a 10-year version of this.
How much was this one?
This one was 75. The
Yeah,
other
we
one,
said it was a
So we
90-ish.
should definitely do the 10-year then.
the other. Oh, should we?
Yes.
Should we?
As long as you're buying, go for
By
it.
the way, I'm the one who buys all the liquor for this show.
Because he's
Until we get a sponsor,
because
I'm
he's
the one
the
who buys all the liquor.
sommelier of bourbon.
That's not.
A smelly, eh?
What they mean by that is I'm the
sommelier.
sugar daddy of the whiskey.
Yes.
So I want to try the 10. I don't know if I'll let you fuckers try the 10-year. I'm going to try the 10.
He's going to do one of his. Oh, Jesus. There it is.
Easy,
See, there's the
easy.
burn.
Relax.
See,
Breathe.
what
Breathe.
you people are going to see is Lon's going to go,
Fuck.
here's the 10-year, and here's my short.
I'll do that
Fuck
every
the other
day.
guys. I'm going to do this on my own.
You know what? When we do more of the shorts, and I'll just show you around my bar, we'll
Yeah.
drink some good whiskey.
Oh,
when
yeah.
I get
These
my
guys?
He's holding out
when
on
I
us.
get my bottle of Pappy, it's like I'll do my short on Pappy Van Winkle.
Give me some
If
Pappy,
you don't
make
share
me
that
happy.
Pappy, we are no longer friends.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
If you give me
of course
Pappy and I
would share.
spill, you have every right to slap me across the face. I'm going to tell you that right now.
If you get Pappies, I'm going to look at you and say, "How the fuck did you get Pappies?"
Exactly. Who did you?
I actually know a guy that
I know a guy. I
know
know
a
like
guy.
6 guys.
I know that
I
actually
still don't have Pappy.
buys Pappies on a regular basis.
What do you mean he buys Pappies
He
on a regular? Nobody
he-
can get Pappies on a regular basis
he
unless they work
buys
for Pappies.
purposely enough alcohol to be able to get first dibs on when Pappies
First dibs
show up.
doesn't exist. You have to raffle. First dibs is illegal.
Well, then maybe
You
I'm
have to
getting somebody in
raffle.
trouble.
I think he's trying to boast
Or
on you
I
to
don't
think
know.
he's cool when he's
so
not
here's the thing:
cool.
I have yet to see his collection, but from what I've heard,
That's
it
all I'm
is
saying.
Quite the collection.
And
he
quite-
drinks
he
none
also
of it.
could be quite
And he-
full of
and he drinks
shit.
So
None
you've
of
never
it.
seen how large his bottles are.
Oh
My
God,
everything is sexual.
it is.
I'm
It
usually
is.
the,
Everything is
perverted
sexual.
One.
Yeah,
Christ,
you are.
I am.
So the 2 movies we watched this time were Night of the Living Dead
And
Train
Train
to
to
Busan.
Busan, there's no T in it.
Where do you get
Busan.
the tea from?
From the same place that Siberian came
Oh,
from.
Jesus.
The point is, they're zombie movies.
Yes.
And the
Great-
connection
great
is,
zombie movies.
they're both zombie movies. The disconnect
good.
is, one's the original zombie movie, arguably, and the other one's the most recent modern zombie, which is Fast Zombies, arguably.
I argue that there was a fast zombie in Night of the Living Dead.
They weren't
going down
fast,
that
they
hill.
just
He was
were-
moving pretty quick.
He was falling
He
down
was
a fucking
falling.
hill.
But still, he wasn't falling. He was kind of like the way
He was trying to what now?
He's making that noise.
He was on a
Yeah.
horse? He would get giggity, giggity, giggity.
He had
What the
coconuts and he was.
fuck was that?
So I think the point we're
I
trying
fought
to say
in your
is-
general
is-
direction.
is Romero's Night of the Living Dead basically started, created the rules behind zombies. and many movies subsequent to that, either associated with Romero or Russo as one of the writers, follow those same rules. There's been several movies that have kind of started to diverge from those rules, and the kind of the steadfast like zombieists. I think I just made up a word. Like don't like the fact. Oh no, how is it possible that zombies can move quickly and things like that? And I think there's something to be said for that.
Yeah, I totally agree. So first of all, I think fast-moving zombies makes perfect sense. Because if you're fresh dead, you've still got all your muscular speed and attributes.
And there's adrenaline. I mean,
adrenaline.
It's the whole,
I think it makes perfect sense.
The whole reason why chickens still run around with a head cut off. It's like that is the adrenaline that is running through their body.
Totally agree. And I think that somebody who's infused with anger and rage, like this virus, most viruses happen to be.
You mean like the rage virus in 28 Days?
28 Days Later?
Have you seen Crazies? We got to talk about that one.
Yes.
Oh, I need to see it still.
Oh my God!
It was a remake though, right?
Don't see the Romero Crazies.
Okay.
Watch the remake of Crazy with Timothy Olyphant.
Okay.
That's beautiful. The other one with Romero, not so much. We'll get into that. But the point is fast zombies make sense to me. Originally, when I saw the first, Night of the Living Dead, it makes sense because they're dead. Atrophy, you get the whole, I'm moving stiff because I'm dead and I'm slow and I'm old. But the fast zombies then make sense to me as well, because if you're fresh dead, you still got that. You're not like, you don't have rigor mortis. You're zipping along, man.
I think, and it's like, I think we could have an entire episode, and maybe this is it.
This is.
Here
we are.
On zombies.
Finishing the bottle?
Because I think there's an issue both ways, right? I mean, it's...
An issue meaning a problem?
A problem with zombies.
Okay.
It's... You have the idea that... like with a slow-moving zombie, the classic zombie, it's there's still blood pumping. Well, not pumping. Sorry, like moving around the body that is enabling the brain to still react and enabling the zombie to actually perform some actions. The problem with fast-moving zombies is you would think that would be short-lived.
It is, and that's where the flaw is. I don't think zombies rely on blood flowing through the system, or at least the blood pressure from a heartbeat.
See, the way I look at it though is that the zombies, one of the part of the virus to me would be blocking the pain receptors. So they don't know they should be running fast, or they're running too fast that they might blow out a leg. So I would love to see a zombie movie. Maybe they have one that I'm missing, but where a zombie's full sprinting towards the person, all of a sudden their calf just blows out or something, and then they just but they still keep going.
I don't think that's the virus that's blocking that. I think they're dead. It's viruses reanimating dead tissue. So there is no pain. So that part is correct. But at the same time, that means they can run out forever, and they're not going to blow a calf muscle because they can't feel it.
Right. I mean, in other words, it's like, but when you start looking at things like Reanimator, as one of the classic examples, which we have.
I love Reanimator. Oh
it's
my
like Herbert West.
God!
Oh my God! I love that.
I'm with you on that.
Maybe that in 28 Days Later.
That'll be finally the movie we agree on.
Absolutely.
I love it. We're going to do that.
But so like you look at Reanimator, and the idea being the fact that in his instance it is an injection that happens that is causing the flesh to reanimate.
Correct.
Obviously, in a classic zombie, the idea is there is something. In Night of the Living Dead, the idea is it's radiation that's causing it, and 28 Days Later, it's a virus that's causing it. But it's something that is causing the flesh and the muscle to reanimate. I think the thing that is still...
Which means they still need blood.
Let's get into the heart of that. Let's dive into this shit.
Because
zombieism is a very vast, wide range of what the fuck is going on.
Right, because like if you look at, and we're kind of jumping back and around here, but like if you look at 28 Days Later, did they, and maybe it's been a while since I watched it, but they weren't brains, right? They were just killing.
No,
people.
they were
In
just
which
rage.
movie?
It was
In
28 days later. That
In
was
20
just
days
pure
later, it was
rage.
all
They were just
fresh.
killing
It was all
Yes.
flesh. They
They-
needed flesh. They needed blood. So it was flesh.
But so
Any flesh,
like,
bugs,
I-
everything.
I mean,
living tissue.
So I think it's funny that it's God, what was the I'm drawing a blank. The first movie where you literally are like brains.
Oh no, that was Return of the Living, Revenge of the Living Dead. Or not Return, Revenge. I mean,
when
Return of the Living
they're
Dead.
down in the cellar.
Correct.
Yes. Yeah.
Because they
Tarman.
brought
Yeah,
one in.
yes.
They brought one in who was dead, and they questioned her, and she said, "Brains are the only thing that eases the pain of dying."
Right. But like up until the point you look
Which
at,
was a Russo
yes
written movie, by the
Right,
way.
which
Just want to
wasn't
throw that
authorized
in.
by Romero.
Was
and Romero
against
did not
Romero's
necessarily
wishes.
agree with it.
And
but-
yet was a phenomenal movie.
It was a good movie.
Still haven't seen it.
One of my
really.
I've not seen
We
Return
are
of the
so
Living Dead.
reviewing that
We should
fucking
totally
movie.
do
That's
it.
the only way I see movies
Oh
nowadays.
my God.
Train to Busan's been on my list for probably 5 years.
Logan, what the fuck? This is a classic fucking horror
it is
movie.
awesome.
I even own a comic book of Return of the Living Dead.
Tarman is like my god. Why would you
I
not?
won't go that far.
Oh my, Logan.
Anyway, the point is, it's like, and
Really
we're
upset.
getting, and we're talking very at like the medical level.
Yes.
Yeah, we're trying to
But-
anyway.
Let's dissect this.
But it's like,
Let's do it, let's
like,
do it.
Why do you think that brains ever came into like the story arc of zombies?
To me, that makes perfect sense. That brains
Really?
are. Yeah, it does, because listen to it. Because that's where the neuroreceptors are, right? They're the ones that control pain. They're the ones that control thought. They're the ones that control all the different feelings of your body and how you interpret them as feelings. So it makes sense that if you eat brains, then your body eases the pain because you're eating the
Of who?
things that of the person who's eating them, the zombie.
Right, but you're.
Sort of like an addict, right?
No,
Needs a fix.
Absolutely.
But what?
It's
what
the only thing that
but what
eases
fix
the
are you-
pain.
Are you getting out of it?
The ease of the
you're-
pain.
But the only pain you could be easing is the other person's.
How is
Pain.
no? Your own, because you're eating the material. You're eating the
So
brain
then you're
that has the
saying
neuroreceptors.
they're still human in that sense that their body still needs sustenance, so they need to. It's basically like a hunger pang, right? You're starving.
It's clearly a hunger
and
pain.
you're the only way to feed that. But then, so do you think it's an overdrive because of the fact that this virus is causing that?
Yes,
Like,
and the brain is the only thing. The neurons and whatever in the brain of a living
so I think we've
being
got a movie that we're starting here. We
is
should be.
what eases the pain of them dying. This is based on Return to the Living Dead, not anything else.
And I will say, like, that makes sense for why the whole like double tap to the head. In other words, it's the only
Kill
way,
the brain receptors, you're dead.
right. Although I do think it's funny how it's like they talk about it in Night of the Living Dead, how it's like yes, it's either shoot them in the head
Or smash
or,
the shit
or,
out
or
of it.
Separate the butt.
or burn them.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just the same thing because it destroys the flesh that is the brain.
Yeah,
Well,
I guess
or could it be
yes.
that it cooks the brain because you're getting so hot
Yeah,
that
same
boom,
thing.
now it's
It,
basically
cooking
killing off the
and
brain at that
destroying,
point.
I would count as the same thing.
So it's
I
like
mean, right?
Maybe.
Right? If you cook
I'm
it,
just
you're
saying
destroying the brain.
that the fire
I
would
think
kill.
just that.
Oh.
On Logan?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Well, I think that's already happened.
Sorry, Logan. Thank you, man. We're gonna-
It's been nice. But so yeah, I mean that makes sense.
yeah, it does.
In quotes.
Nothing of it. Look, let's
We're
face
talking
it.
about people being reanimated. I
Right,
think
we're talking
nothing
about
really has to
reanimated
make
zombies.
sense here.
Nothing is actually science.
But see, that would be a good movie. Is you could go.
They
so,
tried.
Okay, so
They
there was.
tried.
God, I'm drawing a
They
total
look
blank. I think it
bad.
was the. Shit, it was a possession movie, and I'm totally drawing a blank on the name of it right now.
Yeah, there's only about
but there was one where
30,000.
you think it's all going to be about possession, but it's actually kind of like a courtroom drama.
Regarding Henry?
No.
Fucking right. Come on.
Wow.
Harrison
The
Ford.
Prince of Tides. No, come on. Sorry. I cannot think of the name. It's driving me nuts right now. But anyway, what if you did a
Driving
zombie?
Miss Daisy?
Yes, that's
Yeah,
it.
that's
No.
clearly the.
What if you did a movie where you had basically an explanation, like a scientist, from a scientist's point of view, explaining, how you could have different types of zombies. You could say, well, this virus caused this. You could even, you could even make a movie about all the other movies,
Well,
right?
I
Or
think
so
that
you've got the 28 days later, and
Sure, that's entirely plausible. because of the fact that you got slow-moving zombies in something like Romero, and you got fast-moving zombies in 20 Days Later.
Right.
Yes, but that could also be defaulted to the fact that fresher the zombie, the more muscular they can be, versus the older the zombies that crawling out of the grave, they don't have much muscle tissue, so they can't exactly fight you off. But really what it comes down to is the storyline. If you want a zombie that can fight somebody, you need them as superhuman strength.
Right.
And is that the part of the plot point? Then you got to come up with some reason
Right.
why they can have superhuman strength.
And I honestly get confused with.
But that's
with,
where the adrenaline, I think, would kick in, right?
Okay, adrenaline gets you some superhuman strength, but not a lot.
But think about it. They're not using that superhuman strength to get to you. They're using it after they've captured you. So it's almost like those guys that lift up a helicopter to save somebody, right?
Give me an example of
Right,
that.
but
Well, like when they're walking slow to get to you, but once they get to you, they could rip your guts out, right? Like,
But that's not superhuman strength to run.
which one?
No.
Which one is the one where they ultimately walk along the bottom of the river?
that's Dawn
that's-
of
No. That's Land of the Dead.
Land of the Dead.
Land of the Dead.
And let me tell you something. I fucking hate that movie. I
Because that's
fucking hate that
That-
movie.
So Lon gives it a 5 barrels.
Oh my
But that's the
God.
one where the black guy is like the leader.
Yes.
Of the zombies.
You don't have to kill me with this.
You're making him relive this.
But I mean,
Why you
I
torment-
I think the problem is it's like because like adrenaline, I think totally kicks in. I think adrenaline is the reason why you have fast zombies. I don't think like I guess this is ultimately where I think I have the problem. Is it's like slow zombies versus fast zombies. Like adrenaline is obviously to me the reason why you'd have a fast zombie. But
At least part of the reason.
But again, you'd get to that point where that adrenaline is spent, and then they should just fall on the floor. I think.
No.
But it's being
I
replenished,
see what
right,
you're saying.
though?
I agree with you. But to the certain extent that human limits are because you get exhausted. Zombie limits, you don't get exhausted. Zombie limits, you can continue going because it's this
Because you got your fix.
imaginable force that's driving you, right? Because you're reanimated. You're not like I don't know, normally animated. You see what I'm saying? It's a supernatural sort of thing almost.
Well, it's not supernatural.
You're right. You're right. I'm just trying to explain
it's
it.
like I think most of them still has some level of what they like
But
to think
if it's chemically
as
induced-
medical explanation of why.
Okay.
This happens. And
But if it's radiation or Zombrex or chemically induced or whatever, it's some extraneous circumstances
why-
making you a zombie.
this is why
It's
I
not
made the
natural.
point before of like a virus in 28 Days Later because.
They're all viruses.
What I don't know, and that's why I'm saying what I'm going to
Okay,
say.
go ahead.
It's like because remind me because I'm just like remembering.
I'm here to remind you. Let's go.
But
What do you
so
want?
like the virus in 28 Days Later,
Yeah.
didn't that turn them before they were necessarily dead?
Yes. Yes.
So no, the virus was there before
But that's
they
sort of a
necessarily
common
died.
theme. That's a common theme that everybody's got this gene or virus or whatever inside them that when they die, there will be, that you don't need to be bitten
Right.
for the virus to transfer. You've already got it inside
Well,
you.
and that was the like stupid thing about Walking Dead.
Yeah.
Was
Correct.
Was it's like there were so many instances where if you follow the broad zombie lore, there's so many instances where it's like they killed zombies and blood dripped all over their face and like,
they
in their
had their
eyes
mouth
and-
open
and,
because,
like,
let's face it, when you're getting attacked by a zombie, everybody goes, ah.
yeah. Where
get
it's
in their
like
mouth.
miraculously they didn't die
Yeah.
or they didn't get
Yeah.
turned.
Right.
Like really, Walking Dead really kind of created this idea that it really took you
But-
to be bitten in order for you to be infected. Which again, it's like I know we keep going back and forth between medical versus mythology, or whatever.
But this is a tough thing to
It is.
accomplish
It's
because we're talking about the different movies and the way they envisioned the zombie apocalypse happening. Meaning, everybody's come up with a different way that zombies exist.
Right, and you hit it perfectly. I think it's and they hit
He
it.
said I hit it perfectly. Did you guys catch that?
It happens from time to time. And it's really based on like how can we allow the story to continue in a particular direction, and
Exorcism of Emily Rose. Sorry.
Oh, that was a good movie.
Yes, but it was more of a courtroom drama, right?
It was.
Sorry.
It
Totally
was.
burst your
But you
bubble.
know what?
was there
We're
zombies
talking.
in that?
No zombies.
They're
Well,
exorcism.
technically,
It's an
if you're
exorcism.
possessed, so hey, let's
No,
blend that in there.
no,
if you're possessed,
no,
is that similar to
no,
maybe
no,
because you have
no,
superhuman strength
no,
and you're not
no,
being yourself?
No, we're not being yourself.
Hey, you're possessed. That's not you.
Then anybody who's having a bad day is
So,
going to be a zombie.
Okay, so
no,
so
it's a zombie
here we go.
possession.
Here we
Not
go
a
back and
zombie
forth
movie.
between the definition of a zombie.
No, it's
All right,
not.
here we
Don't
go.
give credence to his theory.
No. I disagree with his one, but in other words, it's like so in 20 days later, if they were had the virus and had that like fast running, I need flesh, I need to eat someone, but they weren't actually dead, then are they a zombie? And I know there's debate this anyway
Correct.
of to whether is 28 days later actually a zombie.
Yeah, because in White Zombie, do they not? That's where the zombie phrase came from. They had to be dead and then
No.
brought back.
No,
Yeah,
but
yes,
okay,
yes.
okay, yes,
And
but that's
so
not
what,
what I'm
because
saying.
just as a little trivia for you guys, what did they actually do to prevent people from reanimating bodies in that movie?
Made them eat McDonald's.
Jesus, that'll reanimate your asshole. No, they would bury the dead in the streets, so that way then there was always somebody going by on the street, so that they couldn't dig up the body. Is what they started. So just throw.
Listen, the difference is the original zombie movies,
Notice how we didn't say anything about Rob Zombie with White Zombie because
because of the band White Zombie,
because
it was
Rob
a
Zombie
band
sucked.
name.
With-
What?
Oh my God!
What?
with the Halloween movies.
No,
What?
he's my hero.
Did you just say Rob Zombie sucked?
with the Halloween movies.
We are no longer friends.
You like the Halloween?
I
Rob Zombie?
love Rob Zombie, and
he's
I think he's a great filmmaker.
Okay, the only good film
Rob
that he
Zombie,
made
if
was
you're watching us,
Listen.
which I'm sure you are,
Yeah.
'cause
Listen.
you watch everything horror.
Listen.
You should come on our show.
You can suck my big white zombie dick, buddy.
Big black dick,
Because let me tell you
big-
something.
yeah, the big lawn.
long black dick.
He is the only one that's been pushing the whole fucking horror genre.
So just because somebody pushes the horror genre but makes shitty movies, I'm supposed to be like, hey.
The point is, he's fucking
I shouldn't say
pushing with
shitty movies.
good movies.
Shitty Halloween movies.
Hold on.
I loved
House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, I loved House of a Thousand Corpses.
fuck you then. What about the
I
other
just
one?
don't like what he did with the
Name
Halloween
another
series.
Rob Zombie movie you love.
Name a what?
Another Rob Zombie movie you love.
The only other movie that I liked that he did, so I liked
Lords of
House of the Thousand Corpses. I did not like Lords of Salem. I honestly don't even remember Lords of Salem. The House of a Thousand Corpses and
Devil's Rejects.
Devil's Rejects. Those are the two that I would give him props for making.
Okay, then fuck you. So, now, back to the zombie, actual zombie, not Rob Zombie.
Sorry.
I don't know if you knew
That
this,
was my
but that's a
ADD
made-up
kicking in.
last name. That is not his real last
Really?
name. Yeah, I thought
No
it-
shit.
His
thought it'd
real
help
name
you
is
on that
Tyler Perry.
Oh, God. Speaking of, do you know Katy
I
Perry
do know
named her
Katy
cat
Perry.
Kitty Purry. All right.
Really?
Yes.
So we also need to review. This is like really.
We are
I-
fucking
I-
ADD
so
today.
I am so
and
sorry.
I'm loving it.
But honestly, tackling the zombie genre is not easy.
No, it's not. And that's
we
why I
also-
like that
we
have
need
this.
to review Serpent and the Rainbow.
I haven't seen that in ages.
But
I
we're
gotta see it
talking
again.
voodoo now.
Yeah, well,
So-
But that's
but that's back to White Zombie.
This is what I'm talking about.
So White
I
Zombie
agree.
kind
Man,
of-
I feel like we could make a movie out of this episode.
I agree.
So, because the whole
I
point is,
agree.
it's like it's the reanimation side, right?
Correct.
In other
Yeah.
words, like White Zombie is really all about the, witch doctors, let's say, reanimating corpses, which
So-
is obviously the point of Serpent of the Rainbow.
This
which-
is important. This is important because up until Night of the Living Dead, zombies were considered voodoo curses.
right.
Night of the Living Dead is the first one that brought it up to a sort of virus or infection,
Radiation.
But radiation was always the speculation. Didn't say that was what it was. But that's the obvious
Right.
conclusion, right? So It was the first one to take it out of the voodoo spell genre. Right? From then, it took, and remember who the other co-writer was of that movie?
Russo?
Who took it to a different path, saying it was a chemically induced virus. Meaning, you burn the bodies of those infected, it gets into the clouds, the rain comes down, rains it down into the cemetery, and everybody in the cemetery turns...
It's the circle of zombie life.
The circle of zombie life. I like that.
Where is Pumbaa when you...
Yeah.
I like that. But the point is, that gave it reason. So what Russo did, Russo gave it a virus angle.
Okay.
That became a pinnacle of zombie existence. It did.
Pinnacle?
It became...
I think you meant pinnacle.
What'd I say?
Pinnacle.
So, Siberian movie took place in
Tentacles,
Siberia?
Yes.
Is that what I'm
Actually,
saying?
Serbia.
This is why it's finishing the bottle, because it just...
Okay.
Yeah.
So, but the point is it took it into a virus realm, right? As opposed to the other movies who was more voodoo and spells and magical. Now it came into a virus. Virus is real.
So you're saying anybody could be a zombie? Sorry. It's kind of a reference, throwback to the other episodes where you guys are making fun of me for Ghostface.
Anybody, everybody is Ghostface.
But
I'm
so-
telling you now, everybody's Ghostface.
So let's distill this down
Everybody's
to...
a Ghostface.
This
people.
is Alien versus Aliens. In terms
Ooh, he's going into
Explain
his
that,
realm. Let's see
explain that,
this.
explain that.
Ooh.
So Alien is by far the better movie. Oh my god, we need to review Alien.
Oh, I'm so with you on that.
Alien is by far the better movie.
Alien versus Aliens.
No. We would have Alien versus...
Don't say Alien 3.
No, Event Horizon.
Oh,
that could be good.
I know they're kind of, but they're
That's
still...
different. They're
Yeah,
they're
nice.
separate.
Sorry, just throwing it out there.
But
In the Alien franchise, Aliens, which is the second, is clearly the best movie. Is that what you're saying?
yes and no. So
shit.
here's the
I
way.
think we need to
Helping
play.
you
Well,
out.
this tradition of the ball is
This is
really
great.
all over the place.
This is all over the fucking place.
Here's the way I always describe it. I think cinematographically,
You made up a new fucking
I think
word.
I did.
Everybody's making up words.
Right on, man. Good job. Just leave it. Thank you.
Pinnacle and cinematographically.
So I think Alien is a better movie.
I'm with you.
I will say
I'm with you on that.
that I think Aliens, James Cameron, is a far more watchable movie.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reason I
Wait. Oh, wait. Better and more watchable.
Right.
Oh, yeah.
So I think
Okay.
the reason why I bring that up is to the Russo point and Romero. So and I was like, I think Romero created this law, LORE,
I was gonna say, we gotta
of what
accent getting in the way.
What a zombie should
what
be.
zombies should be.
Agreed.
And his movies have typically followed that same law. I think Russo
Yes.
took that law and said, okay, that's great, but I think we can
Let's
make...
give it a reason.
I'm not sure I understand.
Yeah. No, even your freaking watch doesn't get where you're going on this one. That was perfectly timed.
That would be
I'm so glad that's on recording. Oh God, that was...
I'm not sure I understand as well, Alexa. Actually, sorry.
Oh,
I was gonna say that's
Siri.
Siri.
Sorry.
Jesus.
Oh,
But
Oh
the
my
point is, it's
God.
like, so Russo came up with stories that were way more commercial
Sure.
and were way more watchable.
I'm sorry, I'm still
and,
recovering.
and therefore, to your point you made way earlier,
I'm gonna use
Well,
that from now on. I'm
well-
sorry, I do not understand.
were more commercially viable.
So what
Stop
you're...
it,
I'm going to summarize what you just said because we're all laughing so damn hard. But so basically, you think that do you think Russo did that purposely because him and Romero were fighting? Maybe he's like, you know what?
Wait a minute. He didn't do that because him and Romero were fighting. He did that because that's the way he wanted it to go. Romero wanted to go the other direction.
Right,
But that's what I'm saying is
I don't-
they both probably talked about it at some
But I
point,
don't
right?
think
That's
I don't
why-
think I don't
You
think
were crying.
I don't think
Oh
there was
my
necessarily like animosity between the two.
No. I just think
But
it's like
there was animosity between the two.
But I think the point is that Romero was more of the auteur, and you know more of like the director, and he had his vision
Yes.
Russo ultimately became more of the producer and was really way more about like, hey, there's a commercial success that we can have here.
Yeah.
Russo was behind the camera. Russo did not have any interest in directing. He did not have any interest in, or if he did, he didn't express it so much. But he was more of the writer and visionary person. I'm not saying he was a great man. I'm not saying he was a great person. I'm just saying that when it came time to do another movie, he wrote it in a different direction that he thought it should go. And then Romero.
He would have created Halloween 2 and not Halloween 3.
Romero's
Wait,
movies.
the Rob Zombie versions?
Nice callback, people.
When Romero was directing other movies, he got a whole bunch, right after Night of the Living Dead, he got a whole bunch of like director jobs doing TV
Prince of
shows.
Tides.
And Prince of Tides. He did. Did you see that?
Yeah.
What? Like these movies that were shit. And so he said, "Oh, okay, I'm going to go back and do the second sequel, or the second to my original movie, which would be Dawn of the Dead." And he did Dawn of the Dead.
Yep.
And it was also critically acclaimed. He got great reports for that, and he got
Great special effects.
Great special effects, and Tom Savini. Thank you very much.
I'd say that's probably more Savini.
It was all Savini on that one, but the point is that he got critically acclaimed again. That's hard to say when you're a few shots into the wind. But
I don't believe it.
But the other point is that anything Romero did that was not zombies sucked. I love Night of the Living Dead, one of my top 10 movies, and I'm here to tell you, George Romero sucks as a director. He is just not good.
But you think he's a great director for the zombie genre?
I think
just that one movie?
I think he took an idea, capitalized on, made it his own. He started by bucking the system and saying, I'm going to show you what this should be. Zombies should be this, not some voodoo shit. He started an empire of zombies.
Mm-hmm.
And then he gave up.
And then burned it to the ground.
And then he just couldn't repeat it. He sort of repeated it with Dawn of the Dead. But when it came time for Day of the Dead, it sucked again.
Dawn was the mall?
Dawn was the
Day
mall.
of the Dead was the mall.
So
That's what I'm trying to figure
they were all redone several times. And honestly,
Yeah.
when Savini redid it, it was much better to me than when the original was done.
Right.
But that's because it was more updated, for a little more updated. And it was directed by a special effects guy who knows what the special effects should have been.
And that's what those movies should always be about. I mean, certainly there was like almost to the... Sorry.
I was going to say, I
Throw
thought
up
I
on me.
made this fuck up. Is it hello? Hello?
You
Hello?
have nowhere to go but up.
Oh, shit.
No.
Puke on your own lap.
Like almost to the point that you actually made with your review of Night of the Living Dead. It's like, I think Night of the Living Dead is great for what it created.
Correct.
I think it needed...
Correct.
It needed someone to basically say, okay, well, we've got the groundwork of what a good zombie movie is. Now what people want is they want the gore. They want the
And
special
the
effects.
explanation of what the zombie is.
Right.
But that's
What
sort
is
of,
a zombie?
so then that kind of leads into then the 2001 Space Odyssey. Everybody
How does
wanted
that lead into-
because everybody no listen wait, hold on, I've got a reason for this.
Alright,
You've got 2001 Space Odyssey. What did they come out with the next version of that? 2010.
Yeah.
And they tried to explain it, and it did shit.
Because
right? Because you don't need people. That's the problem I think with a lot of
I
these
agree
movies
to a
is people
certain point.
try to explain
Yeah,
things in the
yeah.
next and when you start to do that, people go, well, it takes away from the lore. Like Rob Zombie with Halloween, like he tried to
you
explain
fuck
away.
with
Hey, I'm
Rob
telling you,
Zombie's
he tried to
name.
explain Michael Myers, and most people go, "What the fuck are you doing? Like, just
Yeah,
leave it."
I said the same thing when Ernest Goes to Jail.
Yeah.
It's like that is just a classic movie.
See, I tried to bring in 2001: Space Odyssey to help out here.
Great horror movie, by the way.
Yes.
Word
But I'm
comes
just
in with
saying,
a
like,
dad
though,
joke.
but I'm just
I get it.
pointing out the fact that when you try to explain things, people get pissed. Unless you can
if
do
you
it properly.
explain it wrong, that's the point.
Yeah.
Is because everybody has their own individual, independent thought about what the explanation
Yes,
is.
and that causes
if
division.
you come out with
Unless
something,
you've been drinking.
And that causes division.
blah, blah, blah.
But that causes division,
I
which then
agree.
causes
I agree.
people to
I agree.
hate it. Now,
I
what you
agree.
want is that good balance of, hey, people hate the fact that I chose this route, but they'll still watch it because it's a good movie, right? Like, you want that to, it's sort of like a shock jock. People hate to listen to the guy, but they're like, what is he going to say next?
But there's also thought of if they explain it, I want to hear what their explanation is. I want to hear, if they come up with a reasonable explanation,
Yes, yeah.
I'm in.
Yeah.
They could say Zombrex is the virus. I'm in. What's Zombrex? How do
It's
you
a new
stop it?
penis pill that, penis enlargement pill that causes you to...
Did you buy that one too?
Yeah,
It didn't work
tried.
for me. Did it work for
Yeah,
you?
It was limp.
Yeah,
the
it
whole
didn't
time.
work
I
for
don't
me
need
either.
it.
You bought it too?
No, I didn't.
Oh. Okay, I'm not going to
Spanish
dive
fly.
into that. But that's the whole point. Is if it explains it and people get it, like they'll buy into it. If it explains it, and you're like, come on, what
But
the
that's
fuck?
where-
Then people
but-
aren't going to buy it.
Yeah, but see, that's where the explanation, though. If the explanation's too simple, people get pissed. And if it's too complicated, then people go, you're just
you
stretching.
lose people. No,
Yeah, it's too
you're
hard.
right.
So, yeah,
You're right.
You're running in. It's kind of, it's the whole, just taking different tracks. And I think that when you run into people that like zombies to not know anything why it happened, leave it up to speculation. Maybe it was radiation, maybe it was a virus that got released, or maybe somebody was
they're
experimenting
here
with
and you got to
monkeys.
deal with it.
Yeah, and that's where I think I like that when they do that in a movie, because it's like, you don't need to know why. You need to know that these people are in this moment and they're dealing with this shit, and they need to get out of it somehow. And I feel like the tension is broken by they when they try to explain it, and then it's like, okay, I don't care. I want to know. I want to see them and how they survive. And sort of like Ben in Night of the Living Dead, he was like, okay, here, make Molotov cocktail. He was just thinking of ideas and on what they had. And
I get that to a reasonable degree. But
I'm going to interject something that I meant to interject when we were talking about Night of the Living Dead. So I think it's funny that Ben picked up on the fact that the zombies don't like fire.
Mm-hmm.
In reality, they don't like light.
Mm.
In other words, it's the light that they don't like.
I'm intrigued. Continue.
And when you think about it with
Ooh.
wow.
Work's getting into this.
If I see his arm suddenly going
Let's
over,
hear it. Let's hear it.
go on.
But I mean, like, even when you look at it in Train to Busan, it's like when it's light. Well, actually, no. Train to Busan, I guess, would be the opposite, right?
No, right. Because light, they when it was in a tunnel, they were no light. They were a little bit more discombobulated. When light came up, they were more active.
Which, if you think about it, in Night of the Living Dead, the same thing. They were just kind of standing around going, ugh, and then when he brought out the fire, like, they kind of jumped back.
But I think that's not the
So
light.
maybe-
I think that's more activity.
But
It's a living person.
I guess again, I think the point is, though, it's like they attributed that to fire, but I don't think fire had anything to do with it.
Okay.
I think it was just simply the light. Like, in other words, I think they would have got the same effect if they'd had a flashlight and like pointed it in their eyes. They would have like backed away.
In which movie would that have
In
happened?
Night of the Living Dead.
You think if they would have put a flashlight in their eyes, they would have been able to fend them off?
Right, because it's. I don't think that it was the fire that was necessarily the causation of why they backed up.
What are you basing that on? What do you think? Why do you think? What other evidence do you have that light is what turned them away?
And
Awesome
no.
argument.
I mean,
You
I get
won me
where you're
over.
going with it.
I'm buying
But see,
into the
no,
whole
so
light
to
theory.
kind of go along with what you're saying,
I'm
Warren.
going with it.
So to
No,
go
he
along
doesn't.
a little
Yes,
bit
he
more.
doesn't.
Think about it though. They're more docile when the light is gone. They were more rage when the light was on. So
That's
like
bullshit. That's
But I'm
not it at
just
all.
trying to help him out here. No,
That's
but
not
in
it at
that
all.
sense, though, like they think about it, they can actually see. I mean, it could boil down to the fact that that they can't see anything in the dark, but they
But
can
that-
see things.
That's totally.
What if you mixed
what
like Pitch
said-
Black with Night of the Living Dead? You'd have Vin Diesel.
The movie Pitch Black?
Yeah.
As opposed to what? As opposed to just pitch black.
What, like opposed to aliens
No, it'd just be interesting to have like Vin
or
Diesel
Spectre Event
killing
Horizon.
aliens.
Event
Because when it's that
Horizon?
dark, you don't need eyes.
I love Event Horizon.
Event Horizon was
Okay.
great.
You
Anyway,
haven't seen? You didn't like it?
No, Event Horizon was
I saw
phenomenal.
it.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
We gotta.
Same too.
See, we can't do Event Horizon because we'd all love it, and that's not
It'd be like a 2-minute episode.
right.
Yeah,
We loved it.
it's
It was
great.
great. Thank you for coming.
Yeah, thanks. No, I get where you're coming from with that. The only thing would be then, and actually, to defend you a little more, what was the first thing they damaged on the truck?
The lights.
Wait, what movie?
That's why.
There you
Oh my
go.
God, honestly, my adult brain because of the whiskey. So that's why I said it. It's because it's why, if they were only concerned with the fire, because the assumption of saying fire is not just the light, it's the heat, right? And it was they're concerned about the heat, but clearly it was just the light because of the fact that they
You killed Logan, by the way.
Holy shit.
I don't care. we'll get another one.
He's got a Rogan.
got a barbecue
just
guy you
like,
can
just
bring
like
out.
it. We got a barbecue guy. Yeah.
But the point is, it's like they busted out the lights of the truck.
They
Like,
did.
Like, what was the purpose of that other than the fact that they were like?
They did. You're right.
The other thing that made me
Okay.
upset about that was why
Okay.
the fuck did Ben leave those
So-
lights on? You're going to kill the battery.
Exactly. And
So-
back in the day, those batteries did not last
Oh
very
my
long.
god, yeah. I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. But.
So what you're saying is they're attributing zombies to the same attributes that they had Frankenstein.
That is correct.
You could.
Frankenstein was not afraid of fire because it was going to burn him. He was afraid of fire because it was light.
Yeah.
Correct.
And
Zombies are
this
Frankenstein.
is a repeat of that
Sorry.
fear, saying Frankenstein's afraid of light, therefore zombies are afraid of light.
Hmm? You could make
Is
that.
that
'Cause
it?
what
Is that what
what
you're
was
going for?
Frankenstein? He was a reanimated person.
He is absolutely
And
a
remember, of course,
zombie.
Frankenstein was the doctor.
Yes, sorry.
He was
Frankenstein's
The
monster.
Frankenstein's monster. Jesus.
Very
Christ.
good point to make because we're
Yes.
going to get hate mail on that tomorrow.
From the.
It's pronounced Frankenstein. Get it right.
Frankenstein.
Pardon me, son. Is this the Transylvania station?
Yeah, it's pronounced eyeball.
Track 39.
Can we review
Oh,
Young Frankenstein?
we have to. We
I
have
Can we
to.
review that one?
That one is just
I mean-
We'll do that with we'll find 2 comedies.
Yeah, Brooker.
Yeah. Oh god.
Oh god, it's so good.
We'll just repeat quotes all the shit.
Oh my
Okay,
god.
but
That's the whole episode. Just
The
gonna
problem
be.
is that I will then go straight from that to Man with Two Brains,
I love that one
and
too.
then Dead Men Don't Wear Plaid.
Don't wear plaid, but that's a different movie. The Dead Man Don't Wear
I
Plaid's
apparently need to get caught
mysteries.
up here.
Fucker. No, it says fucker.
Fucker. So fucker? No, fucker.
I have not
But
seen
that was a
either of
diff-
those
that's
other
not a
2
horror
movies.
movie, though.
I have not seen
Oh my god, sorry.
A Man with Two Brains. And what was it? What's the other?
The Man with Two
Dead,
Brains
Dead
is
Men Don't
a
Wear Plaid.
Dead Men with.
So-
Okay.
Oh my god.
I'll have to put those.
Man with Two
on my
Brains
list.
is a horror comedy.
Okay.
Man with Two
Dead Man
Dead
Don't
Man
Wear
Don't Wear
Plaid.
Plaid is more of a mystery.
It's a
Okay.
it's a Mickey Spillane.
Horror.
I don't know why we're talking about this because this is
We're
Oh,
way
my
off,
God.
way off
But
topic.
Mickey Spillane. I mean, it's just it's
Okay.
just it's
I'm always up for comedies. So.
it's a classic.
Okay.
It's really good.
Yeah.
Boom.
So back to zombies.
Zombies being afraid of light.
Well,
So-
zombies in general. We could go off the top. We all agree that zombies are afraid of light now because it seems to make sense.
Yes.
Frankenstein, zombies, that's where they got it. I get it. That's fine.
But then
Where did the zombie virus
But
come from?
why do they only? You would think that if they were truly afraid of light, though. I'm going against.
I was gonna say, he's-
Arguing
he's,
your
he's
own
got a
point?
rebuttal to his own idea. I love it.
So
Go
like,
on.
I'm dying
so
to hear
you
this.
think they'd only move at night, right?
No, they're full of rage. That's where I'm saying they're full of rage during the day because the light's bothering them. So they're just like, I need to fucking kill somebody. You know, I mean, that's that's my excuse for them. So,
I don't know if it's.
and then at
real-
night, what were they doing? They're just kind of just hanging out. They just hung
Waiting
out.
for
At,
the
Well,
night.
which zombies are you talking about? You talking about like Romero zombies, or are you talking about?
I'm talking about
28
Night of the
Week
Living
zombies?
Dead.
Well, both, because I mean, like even if you look at Romero zombies, like Night of the Living Dead, it's like so you have the cemetery zombie that it's like he doesn't really seem to be bothered by the fact that it's daylight. He's just trying to find someone that he's going to try and kill.
Exactly. But
And yet,
What?
as soon as it becomes nighttime, now all of a sudden he's like knocking out the lights on the truck and
What?
fire. What do you mean what? What?
Wait a minute. Hold on.
so
If we're talking about zombies and the origin of zombies, whether they're virus or radiation,
We
I
don't
mean,
care
let's
about
face
that.
it.
All we're talking about is light. Like,
You're just talking about how light affects a zombie?
No, what I'm saying is...
Because doesn't that depend on if there's,
is-
like, virus zombies or...
No, because what we're saying is, why is it...
is it like Superman? They get their energy from the sun.
No! What the
But
fuck?
like, why is it that... So, at nighttime,
I've gone off onto so many
they're
fucking
afraid of the light because... I don't know why. They're afraid of the light because it's like they're afraid of the fire
All right.
and they have to knock out the lights on the truck.
Yeah, I get
So
this.
they're afraid of the light. And yet, during the daytime,
They're not
afraid of
shit.
light.
Amen.
So could we go?
That's
could
what
we,
I'm saying.
So I'm going to go scientific.
What are you saying?
So
I'm
I'm saying
saying that
scientifically, could it be pupil dilation?
Oh my God.
Talking about teachers now?
Could it be that they just have a little bit of, like, indigestion? No, that's not... I'm not...
It's
You're
an ulcer virus.
minimalizing it. What the fuck is...
No, I'm just
No.
saying if they're during the day, their
No.
eyes have adjusted to the light. And then at night, now any
I
bright
think
lights,
you-
like any typical person, if I'm out in the dark and all of a sudden somebody shines a flashlight.
I think you're basing
I
it...
turn into a zombie.
You're
Yeah.
backtracking too much. I think you're backtracking a little too much on the whole evolution.
I'm trying to help a brother out here.
You're not helping this brother out. I don't know if you're helping this brother out, but you're not helping this
Wait,
brother
you got to
out.
do the bussing.
I think... I think the problem with the whole light is if it's at night and there's a big fire, light. But daytime light doesn't matter because it's during the daytime.
eyes
It's
have
not a
adjusted.
light affected thing. I think if you're a virus infused, anger driven creature, light is not a factor.
That's me every morning.
I don't think light is a factor. I think you're depending your opinion on specific movies as opposed to the overall genre of zombies. And that's the big question. Which zombie do you believe? Is it a virus-infused, all energy, no matter what your musculature is? Musculature
Another
is?
word made up.
Or
Musculature.
are you one of those zombies who are more like a Frankenstein who's like, oh, I'm ambling around, but if there's light, I'll shed away, but I'll still kill you if I'm in large groups, but one-on-one, you'll kick my ass. What zombie do you believe in?
I don't believe in any zombies.
We're talking about made up movies, right?
Okay.
It's
All right.
all made up, people.
Okay.
Yes.
All right, what zombie do you buy into?
Now there are real life actual zombies.
Oh, shut up.
Bugs, insects.
Stop
Have you seen that?
They're getting in the like the wasps that get.
Yeah, there's a wasp that will literally implant its babies inside
It's
of
seed.
Yes. And then it'll walk an ant or whatever it killed, and then it's literally a zombie, and it takes it to its hole and then lets it, and then the bugs eat its way out of the actual.
So we're not talking necessarily the Last of Us sort of zombies then, are we? Last of Us is not a zombie virus.
It's a fungus.
It is a fungus.
Fungus among us.
That is infect, and it's a real fungus that
as
infects,
opposed to a fake fungus.
as opposed to a made up for a game fucking fungus.
So Last of Us is real? Wasn't it made up for a game?
That's what I think.
I think we're losing people. I'm sorry.
I think we're losing ourselves. No, so you
But
could.
you see where I'm going with
yes,
this.
but you could make. That's what I'm saying. You could scientifically. I think we're gonna have to have a movie that explains zombification.
But it would be one viewpoint of zombification.
Right.
Because Last of Us has one view.
But see, that's where I'm saying you could
Ramiro has
include
one
all
viewpoint.
views. If you were a smart movie maker, you would make a movie where you say, maybe have it be a doctor, and sort of like the I Am Legend, he's testing different things. Like, hey, here's a zombie. Let me shine a light on it. They're scared, but they're not like dying. I'm just
You could effectively have evolution and say that like all zombies live in the same world, and say like these evolved into vampire zombies, and these evolved into like light-hating zombies, and
Totally just had an idea. Make a cabin in the woods type movie, but for zombies.
it's all
Where
like
it's
a
just
story.
zombies.
It's all made
Because
up.
And then you have
could be
different
like-
types of zombies.
There's
that,
like 10
depending
different
on
kind of zombies.
if you blow into a horn or whatever, or a, what do you call it, a seashell, that's going to cause the mermaid.
we could have a
What
whole
the mermaid?
episode of our own just talking about zombies. Which
I think we
I
just
guess
did.
we kind of are.
I think we just
But
did.
Where have you been
there
for
are
the
a
last
lot more
54
different kinds.
minutes?
We're not even touching on different zombies.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully we're not touching on zombies.
Yeah, because then we're going to get infected.
I think so. Why?
Or we're killing it with the alcohol.
It is a pleasure doing these movies with you guys all the
Sometimes.
time.
All right. Yeah, we are at 55 minutes, so
Well, we got no trivia though.
we don't need any more. Do we have trivia for the
That's
other
what
two
I'm
movies?
saying. So
We
what
have
do
no trivia.
we have a lot to talk about for zombies. We didn't settle anything.
You know what we should do?
Oh shit.
Tell the
I think what we should do is have our own viewpoints for zombies. Put them as shorts, and then let the people decide whose idea or viewpoint is better.
So why would you want to put that out there so that everybody would?
It's going out of my nose. Let the people decide who's better.
Oh my god, it's like dripping out of my nose.
So clearly it's going to be either Warwick or I because
Oh my god.
somebody's eliminated themselves from credibility.
I can't believe that came
Oh
out
my
of my
god!
nose.
It was just I love the mannerism.
Oh god, that's on
Obviously,
video.
you guys who are watching this
Well,
appreciate.
I just had a nasal douche. Oh my god. Holy Christ.
God.
That's why it's called finishing the bottle.
I
Oh,
weep for the future, people.
Oh shit, that seriously came
Okay.
out of my nose.
Please don't watch this
I'm glad it
episode.
was that came out of my nose and not that. Holy shit. Oh, I wouldn't have sinus.
Well, thank you for watching.
Yeah.
Um,
This went off the
come
rails.
back again.
Hopefully.
So-
No, I think we had some good viewpoints in
Okay,
there.
so I'm going to ask a legitimate question. The last time I feel that we were this like off the wall
Yeah,
was the live event.
the live event.
Yeah.
we
Where
were
we
fucked up.
basically
I was hammered. I'm not even
had-
hammered now.
I think had actually finished 2 bottles.
We did.
We did 2.5, didn't we?
Yeah,
so.
there was some crowd participation in that.
Yeah, there was a couple.
So do you think it's down to the alcohol
Let me
content of the?
let me
It's
throw
giving
this
away
out.
our inhibitions.
I promised I'd talk about this in the last
Okay.
couple of shows ago, so I'm going to quick cover it.
You are an alcoholic.
No.
That's just Tuesday.
And no longer recording. No,
Where are we at?
I'm kidding. I was
Romero is not a very good director.
I think you did. You said that like 7 times, but go ahead.
I did, but that's what I'm covering because I approached it and then I came back on
But
it.
you say that, yet Night of the Living Dead is one of your favorite movies.
It is
So
because
please.
on that particular movie, he did the right thing. He had the right angle. He had the right time. He had the gumption to.
So you're
do
saying
this
it was
right.
more of a timing thing.
It was not just a timing thing,
I
but it was
shouldn't
also it was young and,
Hey,
and hungry for it.
I've got something for that. So this is basically M. Night Shyamalan.
I knew.
So you have The Sixth
What?
Sense. You have Unbreakable. Great movies.
No,
And
M. Night was. According to him, M. Night was better than George Romero.
Absolutely.
And then it was a slow descent.
No. George Romero had a great hit and then he fucked up. And then a great hit, not as great hit, and then fucked up. I think George Romero lucked out with the timing and the script and everything that he had with Night of the Living Dead to make it the success that it was. And then from that point on, he could not keep up, and everything else he directed sucked. Everything he directed looks like a low-grade, just subpar B movie. DCE movie.
Damn.
They were horrible.
Sort of like how I feel with Rob Zombie.
He had no but Rob Zombie had
Rob Zombie Halloween. Sorry.
Rob Zombie had quality
Right.
to his show, though.
At the end of the day, Rob Zombie, despite whether you like ultimately the movies that he puts out or not, it is a artistic vision.
He has the quality in
Right.
his films, and he has the budget behind it. When he does a movie, it looks like a high quality movie. Everything Romero puts out looks like a low-budget piece of shit.
Right. In other words, he takes that whole thing of saying, okay, when I was successful, I had $100,000 budget.
Yeah.
So
And I made it into $30 million.
Right. So therefore, clearly my issue is I need to always have low budgets. So even when he has large budgets or reasonably large budgets, he still tries to produce a low budget movie thinking that that's the mark of success.
You know, Warwick, I think you hit the nail on the head with that. I really do. I think you hit the because Romero can't do a high quality movie. Land of the Dead was the worst fucking movie I have ever seen in my entire goddamn life.
So you liked it?
It was so bad. I would watch any other low budget movie from Romero 10 times before I had to watch Land of the Dead.
Okay.
Land of the Dead was that fucking stupid.
But I think that's interesting though, because I think it's one of the things where I'd love to, and I don't know that I've seen an interview with him about it, because I think he falls under that category of someone that like had success, tried to go off in a other directions, thinking and playing off the success that he had, and clearly, as we said in the previous episodes, based on the budget versus return on those movies, probably got lots of opportunities to do.
Of course he did.
Other movies.
Of course he did. And he did a lot. That sucked.
But like ultimately realized that all these other movies weren't working, so therefore let me try and go back to the source and try and create those kind of movies, and realize that at the end of the day, you know, they just didn't.
Is that the case, or is it just that he had, to bring it back to everything else that we've said in the beginning of these episodes, he blew his wad. He didn't have. Now, maybe if he had done Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, you know, or whatever, all like one after the other,
right?
Maybe if, you know, in succession, maybe, but
I don't think it's necessarily that. I think he's more of a hit or miss, because he did do Creepshow. He did do the first original Creepshow. He directed some of those episodes, and he was good at that, but it wasn't his story.
Right. He was just one of the directors.
Correct.
Of other people's stories.
Correct.
But I mean, I think the thing that's interesting, even again, one of the things we talked about with Night of the Living
Dead.
And
he had a theme to follow. He had a guideline. He didn't even come up with the original directorial. It was already set.
But you know, and some of this is lore created.
L-O-R-E.
L-O-R-E. But by himself.
Thank you for spelling that, because he usually does, and he missed it.
But I mean, I think it's one of those things where, like, you know, you listen to the trivia on it, and there's a lot of things where it's like he's the one that kind of said, "Hey, no, I don't like the alien take on it. I think that the rotting corpses is a great line. You know, how can we expand on that?" So in other words, it's like clearly he had creativity in that, but I wonder, and we talked about this before. Like, I wonder whether in reality, like, Russo is in fact the person that really should be lauded as the genius in that pairing.
Sorry.
I'm so glad he's spelling things for us.
Because at the end of the day, it's like, even like Russo was ultimately the person that wrote the screenplay. Yes, it was based on Romero's direction. I don't mean direction as in direction of the movie, but in other words, it's like, and then we said this before. Russo ultimately took that concept and created the more successful versions of the zombie movies.
Sure. Correct. So, to clarify that a little bit, is, as far as I understand it, George Romero wrote the original to a point that made sense for Night of the Living Dead, Dawn of the Dead, Day of the Dead. It was a 3-part script that Night of the Living Dead was just the first act. It was a 3-act script. That was almost exclusively Romero. I get it. That's the way I understand it. But when it came to successful sequels, Russo was the one who nailed it.
Right.
Return to the Living Dead was one of my favorite movies. That is the top 10 right along there with Night of the Living Dead. Because it was campy, it was over the top, it was ridiculous, it was silly, and it was scary, and it was gory, and it was
enjoyable.
It hit every check mark of what a horror movie should be.
Right.
For me. I argue that George Romero was not the genius everybody thought he was. He had a couple good hits. He wrote something and directed it that was poignant to the time, and then he rested on his laurels and made a few occasionally mildly successful movies, and that's it. And he didn't hit the same success as he used to. And Tom Savini, to me, is way more of a success story than George Romero. I know they're friends. Tom, if you're listening,
We'd love to have you on the podcast.
Well, I'd love to have you on a podcast, but
I'd love to visit his school.
I understand that you and Romero are very good friends and very close, and he's the reason you got to the level you are, maybe, or at least part of that. You are way better than I think George Romero was.
But I mean, again, I think we talked about this before.
I said it.
I think it's one of these things where, what Savini does is he has that because of the special effects side of it, and most horror movies are definitely way more about the special effects and being able to picture.
If you don't have the storyline, you got to rely on special effects. But if you got the storyline, you don't need the special effects.
Yeah, that's true. Look at Paranormal Activity and all those kind of movies.
What was that one about the witch in the woods? What was that, Blair?
Oh,
Something
yeah.
or other. What was it? I forget.
But that was really shitty.
That was
great
shitty.
movies.
Yeah,
Yeah,
let's
very,
not count
very
that.
I'll
Let's
go
not
down
count that.
swinging on that one.
Let's forget
it's
that
really
one.
stupid.
Yeah. We'll skip it.
But again, the point is, it's like I think the director is way more about like the visuals of how does it look, and I think obviously the difference between the cinematographer and the director. But so in other words, I think because of the special effects aspects that Savini obviously knows really well, I think that's why he does horror movies really, really well.
I agree.
He's lived the horrors, right?
I agree.
Savini has.
He lived the horrors.
The actual horrors, and he wants to use that. I mean, he used that in a way that helped him through that, but also to also get people to. I mean, to this day, like there's certain things that it looks really real what he does.
Of course.
I mean, he's had to figure that out on his own how to make
He's
that
a
stuff.
pioneer
Yeah.
in special effects.
He is
There's
the
no
Christopher
doubt.
Columbus of special effects.
Let's not. Yeah, that's not.
I don't know
No.
if he's been
That's
canceled,
kind
of-
or are we talking about the singer?
No,
We're definitely not talking about the
the
singer.
singer.
But
Or
thanks for
is
playing.
it Chris? No, what was his name?
No,
Chris
was it-
Cross.
Chris.
Crisscross is going to get you. Jump.
Jump,
Jesus.
jump, jump.
No, I
Chris
thought you were
Cross
going
is
to go
gonna
with
get
Chris
you.
Columbus as in. Didn't he do the?
Oh, there was a director.
Well,
Wasn't there?
the music.
Yeah.
What
I'm
was
going to let them sit. I'm going to let them
Christ.
just
Yeah, we should probably
figure
edit
this
this
out.
out.
No.
what-
Let's take time during our show to figure out who the fuck Chris Cross is. Go ahead.
No, Chris Columbus.
Yeah, same difference.
Christopher Cross is the.
Christopher Cross. Sailing
See?
away.
See? They're still going, aren't they? Aren't they?
Oh God. Oh.
This is what whiskey does to people.
Yes.
People.
I'm afraid to drink water
I'm
now.
sorry.
I'm going to spit it all over the place.
So, bottom line.
We're at 107. So
Bottom line. Oh,
Yeah, we
107.
should- we should end it.
That's pretty good. Okay, so bottom line is there's no real answer to the zombie
Oh,
apocalypse.
I almost did it again.
There's thoughts, there's angles, there's perceptions.
Are we going like I gather.
What the fuck are you saying?
I gather.
What the fuck is Pythagoras?
Pythagorean? There you go.
Oh,
Pythagorean theorem.
Pythagoras. Because you're
Pythagorean.
talking about angles and
Oh.
He's saying the a
that
squared
still
plus
made
the
no
b squared
fucking
equals the
sense.
c squared.
no, the sum of the c squared.
Some of it.
A squared plus b squared equals the sum of the c.
Listen,
squared.
thank you for
The
joining
angle
us.
of the hypotenuse.
The angle of the dangle is
appreciate your
divided
joining
by
the
the proportion to
podcast.
the
The
unit of
angle
b.
of the hypotenuse. Hypothesis.
Wow! I think more
Hypothesis.
And we're going to end this right here. Thank you very much for joining this podcast, and I'm not sure what the fuck we talked about.
this is
I
great.
don't know why this went off quite the rails that it did.
There were zombies somewhere in this podcast.
See, we were zombies,
sure.
and that we just kind of went off that way, and then this one. So.
Listen, thank you for joining us.
Absolutely.
We appreciate it.
If you enjoyed this episode, then
Whoa!
clearly you're going to love
I'd be surprised.
Wow, you're gonna love smacking the mic.
Sorry. You're going to enjoy all of the previous episodes.
Bitch, slap the mic? Why would you bitch slap the mic?
Like and subscribe. Give us a 5-star rating.
I think it's a thumbs up on YouTube, by the way.
Thumbs up.
Thumbs up.
No, but on
On anything
our
other
podcast.
than, yes, on the actual podcast, on the sound side, we'll say.
Don't rate our entire like our sound quality.
Oh my god. Oh, Christ.
Okay,
My eyes are just watering.
I'm
like
sorry.
crazy. That was great.
We're all sorry.
No,
really
no,
sorry.
I'm not sorry. This is hilarious.
We apologize
I'm having so much
greatly.
fun.
What did you give us?
Yeah.
Just rye.
He's like,
Just
I gave you the
rye.
zombie virus.
Just rye. It's delicious rye.
That would be see. There's another movie. You could have somebody poisons. Have
So
it
leave a mark
have it
down
happen
below
during the
about if you'd
prohibition.
like us to watch review a specific movie or a specific bourbon or a specific rye whiskey, any liquor.
Or you know what I want to say?
And if you're the distributor for Hughes Bell and Bedford,
Dude.
clearly we love it.
we are new
se-
fans.
Send us
I
some
think you
other
could send it to a place that we are sitting at,
We are new fans.
Ghoulish Models 228 West Main Street. Thank
or
you.
just bring it on by.
I'll bring on by.
And
We
then
have
This is our
Bye, sir.
headquarters.
I was about to mention the live event, but this episode is going to be even further away from the live
It's
event.
not even going to be.
Hopefully.
We're going to be like 6 episodes past the live event.
Hopefully you really enjoyed the live
But
event.
that means we'll be closer to the next live event, which still holds true. Come see us. We're going to have a live event soon. So pay
Check us
attention.
out on Facebook.
See, it still worked.
It does still
Because
work.
by the time we have this, we'll have another live event
So
coming
we're
up soon.
not. So we're not talking about the Evil Dead live event that is coming
See?
up, which
No.
actually now is going to be in the past.
So the next live event is the one
Is
you
this
want
going
to
to turn
go
into
to,
Spaceballs? It'll be like,
which we're not sure what that.
It's
will
all
be.
jammed.
Yeah.
It's all jammed.
what are we talking about? We're talking about now, then. Anyway.
Thank you
All
for
right.
coming.
All right, folks. Thank you. Love you guys. Take care.
May the Schwartz be with you.
No.
I love it. All right. Thank
Okay.
you, everybody.
Is
Bye,
that good
everyone.
enough?
Love
Goodbye.
everyone.
Okay, we're going to clap it here because this is just.